So we have to let her out beforehand. And then we prep everything so that the door to the rest of our apartment is closed and there's only the door to the bathroom available. And then she knows and she's so upset with us. Sorry about Lily crying in the background. She's fiance left to grab stuff and she's not having it. Lily, do you hear her arguing with me? She needs you both to be around her, but does she have a favorite person? I think fiance is her favorite person, honestly. Um, however, like she acts very similarly apparently um when I'm not here. So, yeah, but I think he's her favorite. Although she does trust me a lot. Like she does for different like medical things. Like if we have to give her eye drops, ear drops, things like that, she's more cooperative with me, which is nice. Whereas with him, she kind of will like fully try to, for her eardrops and stuff, she'll lay on the ear that we need on purpose and like she won't lift up. She'll be like flop. But for me, I'm like Lily, we need to do this, and she'll sit there and give me the saddest look, but she'll do it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I'm like no, 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 we're not doing this. You sit up. And she has little like tantrum sounds, and it's so funny. That's one of them. But yeah, she'll like huff at me. She's like angry. I'm like, sorry, gotta do your eardrops. But that's what I tell him. I'm like, I think I think it really is that you let her get away with stuff. She has this routine at night, and he usually does it because I go to bed first. Where she has to see that all the lights are off and she knows that this is her last chance to go outside for the night. And so then you tell her to go to bed and then she asks to go outside instead. And that's her routine. And if you waver from it, if you don't tell her to go to bed before she goes outside and she doesn't realize it's the last one before bed, when she comes back in and you tell her to go to bed, she's like, "No, no, no, I need my nighttime routine," and she needs to go back outside. Otherwise, she screams through the door all night. And so this is what fiance is telling me, and like it was like one of my first times doing this routine with her because he was going away for the night, and I like I was getting ready to do this whole routine with her. So I told her to go to bed and she just went to bed. She didn't ask to go out. She didn't ask for anything. It's like, "Oh, okay, you're just going to go to sleep? Okay, cool." And that's happened multiple times when he's been gone, where I just tell her to go to bed and she will, and she doesn't scream at the door. But with him, she has this routine where she has to have like literally she's outside for like 30 minutes because she wants to explore the whole backyard before she goes to sleep. But with me, it's just like, yeah, okay, I'll go to bed. Oh my God. Charles clearly loves and trusts me and the rest of the family a lot. There's not a human on this earth who can compete with the littlest niece. Aww. Doggo would start huffing at us at 10 p.m. because he was like, "It's bedtime, turn the TV off." Yeah, for us, it's the opposite because Lily never wants to go to bed because she sleeps in a separate room from us, so she doesn't like it. Um, and the reason we have to do that is because if we don't sleep in a separate room, we will wake up and she'll be on top of the bed. And she does have an issue with with peeing when she sleeps because she's an older dog. So sometimes she wakes up and she's peed a little bit, so we can't have her on the bed because then we have to like literally strip the mattress every time. So we have to keep her. She has like her own space and she has all her beds in here and it's a carpeted room and it's warm. So she's fine, but she is upset to be separated at night, so she hates bedtime. I guess I am. I don't know. I don't think I'm very strict with her. Like, I don't know. I don't think I am, but apparently I am. I think I'm more, maybe I am a little bit strict. Like when I give her treats, for example, if she's taking them too like excitedly, I remind her to be gentle and I don't release the treat until she is gently takes it from me. But then when fiance gives her treats, he doesn't correct that a lot of the time, so she'll just grab them from him. But I taught her like the gentle trick and she'll literally like just put her teeth and just like nibble until she gets it. It's really cute. Hey Big Man, how's it going? Anything that's not you can do whatever you want, whatever you want seems strict. Yeah, that's true. Lily! He's coming back later. She's very upset. Can't do a treat redeem right now though because I have to give her a bunch of them to get her to the bath. So I think the Strawberry Pac-Man frog is almost done. The first frog I lined up with your desk. Yeah, right. It's like a little frog mermaid. Frog sneak. Couldn't believe how long the frog was. Take a raid session? Oh yeah, sure. Yes, you can. Link the incredible thing. Okay, so this needs to be a little bit more green to do the thing. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's a frog mermaid. It's so well done too. That looks great. Askbon should be starting at 11. It's her birthday. Her first shop drop. Oh my gosh. And she just started watercolor. Yeah, definitely. That's a big combination of the perfect elements for a raid. You might just have to remind me of the name when it's more towards raid time. Or if you're not able to be here, somebody else, if you can just like copy the name and then like put it back in chat later when I'm gonna raid. I might remember it. Rich knows. Okay. She'll be on at 11 on the dot. Okay.
What's the Elvish word for friend?
Bavira, thank you for the follow. Bavira? Thank you so much. Okay, so they're gonna start probably like after 11, you think? We can make it work. When am I ever on time for stream? Mostly never. Go live time is usually 10, but she starts sometime between 10 and 10:30. Oh wow. Michiko, that's cool. Just wanted to suggest. Yeah. I mean, if they're not streaming like at a time that works, then we can also do a shout out and like go hang out there too, like after the fact, but yeah. Centillion, welcome back. You got some coffee? Nice. Sounds good. We need to point Vaughn this way for that. Thank you. But no. But they just started watercolor? That's so exciting. Okay, so I put a dark line. It needs to be a little lighter, but I'm hoping that it'll pigment it enough in the right spot. Yeah, there we go. Only really started back with art in December, started trying to really learn watercolor mid-January-ish. Oh, wow, that's great. All right, so I think what else does need to have? Need to blend a couple spots, but we're almost there. And then I think I want to lift some of the color. Oh wait, where did my thing go? There we go. So I want to lift some of the color at the bottom of the eye a little bit because it kind of went in the wrong spot. Amy, welcome in. Second panel, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're working on this part, which connects to the bottom. So it's going to be like this, approximately, like that way. But this one is the strawberry Pac-Man frog we're working on right now. Her stream has a jump scare sound alert. Oh no. Lovely way to wake up in the afternoons. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Yeah, I really like I'm excited to layer them all together and see how that works with them. Okay, I think that the strawberry Pac-Man frog is done. Oh wait, actually, let me fix one part. So it's gonna be like here. We don't see it too much, but this is like the edges part, and then the frog itself is like here. So there's a bit of a shadow from the disconnect. I haven't yet, but fiance's actually bringing me back some coffee. Um, so he'll be back soon with that. And then I'm gonna have breakfast after stream. Oh wait, he's back, I think. Think this is done. Oh wait, let me do this real quick. Oh my gosh, yeah. I do that every time. It's hard to stop working on something. Speak his name and he shall appear. Yeah, apparently so. But now Lily won't be screaming into the void anymore. Okay, coffee acquired. Delicious. Um, yeah. Okay, so is this one done? Maybe a little bit more blending on a couple spots that I can see. Like, I'm not sure whether I should do a glaze of yellow on the yellow splotchies. I think I maybe should, and then do a darker color around the edge. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna get rid of this color. Oh, I just need to stretch my hand real quick. So how's everybody's Friday going? Do you have lots of work to do before the weekend, or is it a chill Friday? Um, yeah, for me today is just cleaning and painting frogs. I mean, that's not too bad. The cleaning part's gonna be tricky, but two meetings all day, which is great. Oh, like, okay, I thought by that I read it as like two meetings that are taking up the whole day, but like in the whole day you only have two meetings. Okay. That's pretty good. Very rainy so far. I think it will be all day. Oh, yeah, our the weather thing right now says rain and snow, although I don't see any. So I don't know. Yeah, it just looks gray out. Supposed to rainstorm here for a good portion of the day. Yeah, it'd be spring, I guess. Yeah, that's okay though. All the flowers are gonna be so pretty. Was really productive before work, finished an art piece, and touched up something I'm trying to laser. Is it that bear thing? The stand up bear thing? Trying to find productive stuff to do for my job. Ugh, job. It's so funny, because my friend and I are planning that wedding stationery business thing, and she was like, I don't want to think about my fake job, because she refers to her office job as her fake job now. She's like, I don't want to think about my fake job. No. When will it get a little warmer for you? I don't know. Like it's on and off. I think it was 10 degrees a couple days ago, but that was the day that it randomly snowed and then went back to 10 degrees. So I, yeah, I don't really know. It's different every year. Usually around like mid-April, it's like consistently warmer again. But beginning of April is still that kind of like back and forth. I don't know what weather it is season, you know? Um, the bear. Yay! Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. Once you can cut it again, it's fixed. That's super exciting. Oh, so you have a laser cutter thing, right? Like a like a thing where you close it and it cuts the wood for you? That's what you use? Got free time and some new paper, so it's gonna be a weekend of arting and loud music. Ooh, nice. That sounds like a great weekend. A pew pew. Not the big fancy hooded one, just like a desktop entry level one. Oh, so do you have to like hand direct it, or is it like computer programmed and then like it does what design you put in kind of thing? Because so I want to get like a letterpress machine thing, but the actual good ones are like the vintage ones that are hard to find and are really expensive and they're giant. And I've seen a couple like smaller systems, but they're really hard to find in Canada for one. So, and the thing with them is you have to order, like, if you want like custom illustration stamp for it, you would like it's hard to find somewhere to order it from because these machines aren't really, even the newer ones, nobody really makes them anymore currently, so it's hard to find them. So, I like you need to basically have like a laser wood cutter thing. 3D print might work, but the ink won't adhere to it properly. So we want like a if we wanted to make like a the font or like a little illustration that's letterpress, and then it would need to be carved out of wood. So I was wondering if like if I commissioned you to make a couple like tiles or something, if that's something you could do. Yeah, letterpress. It's that thing that stamps it, like stamps the ink and also impresses into the paper at the same time. And you can imitate them by using heavy things and like doing that. But you need the stamps of the stuff. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to message you about that because that would be great. Yeah, it's kind of like embossing, except it's technically called debossing because embossing it stands up, but we just have to do it upside down. Like that's fine. That means we'd have to do it backwards. Wait, now I have to think about this. Because letterpress is when the paper is pressed in when you're looking at it, and um, deboss is, or no, wait, deboss is that, and then emboss is up, deboss is down. It feels like it should be the opposite. It breaks your brain. I know. And the way you have to set it up, it has to be like the words are backwards. So it's really hard to kind of spell check because you have to scan it differently. So you have to more intentionally spell check, like as you're putting them in, making sure they're in the right order because like you're reading backwards and the letters are backwards. Debossing is what I did when I quit my job. Oh my gosh, it's like printing things. When I'm printing greeting cards, oh my gosh, the confusion that that caused me. I don't know what it is, whether it's the way I set up the program, like the cards in the program or what, but I set them up so that it's the whole card open lengthwise so that I could put something on the back and the front, right? It's 10 inches this way. Like imagine this is the card, and this is how I set up the document, 10 inches this way. And then obviously it's like the 7 inches this way. And then when you fold it, it's 5 by 7. And printing them out, I was like, oh, this is landscape, right? And so I put landscape as the option. And since the document itself was landscape, it decided that this way is actually landscape because it flipped it. So then I had to put that it was portrait. But then the issue that I was having was that it was still, the print preview was still showing it this way because it thinks that it wants portrait like that. So I was like, I don't know what's happening. So I just printed it anyways, and it ended up printing properly even though the print preview was incorrect because the document, it was a whole thing. It took me like a week to get a proper thing that worked without wasting too much paper because I was confused out of my mind. And then it was like every time I have to print a greeting card, I have to like remind myself like the computer says it's going to print wrong, but it's going to print fine because I've done this 1,000 times now and I know how to do this. Don't trust the computer. It's fine. Right? Oh my gosh. It's so like the flip-flop of it. I had the same issue what was I about to say? Printing and painting. Um Printing envelopes for the invites because I printed the addresses on the envelopes. And so you put the envelope in with the flap up. So you can also print on the flap if you want. And then it prints the address, except when I'm setting up the document, I set it up as if I was looking at it. But for it to print, it prints the top part first. So the top is that flat part and that won't work. So I had to flip the whole document and then print it that way because the top is of the document is what's going to come out of the printer first. Oh my god. It's very stressful. It shouldn't be, but it's hard to like switch your brain off enough to just let it do its thing, and it's hard to do it that way. Tried to print book signatures. No, what do you mean book signatures? Is it a part of like a bookbinding thing? The top comes at the bottom. Landscape means vertical. It's a whole nother language. It really is. And then the other thing I struggle with sometimes is if I don't like the direction of a document, if I want to flip it to work on it better or to visualize it better, um, it's even though it looks correct, the computer is registering it as now it's sideways. So when you move the bar at the bottom to move things, it's actually moving the up and down. And when you move the sidebar, like I feel like I should just swap. Like if I move to the document to the side, I feel like up should always be up no matter what. Like what it, but it flip flops. And so then the bottom is up and down, and then the top, the sidebar is sideways. Oh my gosh. It breaks my brain. Um, Groups of pages that are sewn together, 5. Oh, yes, yeah, yeah. Trying to print in groups like that and with the pages in order. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds really hard. Oh, another printing thing I had while doing also I should probably start mixing colors for this guy. I haven't even done that yet. Another printing thing I had was the booklets for the invites. So it opens I don't have an extra to show you. Okay, well, it was basically like a piece of paper that kind of opened, it closes in the center, right? And I had an illustration on each side of the hands that I did so that they meet in the center. So I had to, I did the illustration, I scanned it in, got it all edited and ready, and then I had to basically cut it in half and put this hand on this side and this hand on this side. And that was fine, except the issue came in where my printer, even though it's advertised and it has the option technically to print all the way to the edges, I've never been able to do it successfully. It always cuts off a little like quarter-inch margin for some reason, no matter what I do. I've tried every single option. Like, I don't, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it even though it says it does. And so there's a little bit of an extra edge. So Fiance and I were trying to do so much math with the margins and setting them so that the hands wouldn't cut off, because if it cut off this much of it and this much of this side, then they don't meet up when they fold. So we were like doing, he was doing some crazy math and I was just along for the ride. I was like, this is all you. Like, this is not how my brain works. So we had to place the margins at like the different points where to connect things so that they wouldn't show on the back, and then also the margins for the edges so that, and like move that thing over, so that
It
it was a whole
wasn't that
thing.
crazy.
We did it for a good like 30 minutes.
Well, it's because I confused myself halfway through.
See, it's confusing.
But it's not that crazy.
It was pretty
You
crazy.
just divide the paper in half,
No.
then you take the width of the thing and you center it on the middle of the paper.
But then we also had to do the edges calculations.
But that was just so that we give it enough room so that we know the printer doesn't cut it off.
It still took us like a good half hour to figure it out though. So you can't tell me that wasn't tricky.
It wasn't that.
It was half an hour of math. That's enough for me. Um, Take a photo with my phone in landscape. It'll decide that it's oriented at 90 degrees to what it was taken. Try to view it. It keeps rotating away from you. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. That's happened to me before too. Like it's sideways and then you try to look at it and it's like, nope, I'm gonna flip this way. Nope, I'm gonna flip this way. Gotta go decompress from thinking about this, right? Okay, let's pull up a picture of the next frog because we're just talking about stressful printing. Oh my god, it's a whole thing. Yeah, I definitely don't have like I can figure it out, but I definitely don't naturally, like that's not my natural way of thinking is like the that kind of flip-floppy thing. It's definitely not how I think. Um so it's a lot of extra, I don't know. It takes a lot of extra brain power for me because that's just not how my brain naturally thinks. We need the European common frog, also known as the true frog. Aw, it's so cute. So we have our frog, very splotchy. The phone torments me. Couldn't be user error. No, not at all. Really good at thinking about that kind of stuff. My brain shatters when the tech doesn't see what I think it should. Yeah, it's really tricky. I've definitely, like, through printing so much stuff, I've definitely learned how my printer likes to be communicated to. So if I tell it that it's printing in this direction, even though that's not technically right, like I know that's what it wants to know. So I've learned it over the years, but yeah, the first time printing a greeting card, that was a whole, like, yeah, pet it gently. Okay, I'm not even kidding. When I was doing my wedding invitations, both the printer and the paper cutter, they were so good. Like, they didn't, nothing bad happened. They were so good the whole way through. It was really, they did really good job. And I swear at one point, I don't know if I was just overly tired or tired of listening to the paper cutting machine and the printer going at once for hours on end for 2 days straight. But like, at one point I literally like pet them and I was like, you're both doing so good. Thank you for not breaking. They did really, really well though. I'm so proud of them. My little machine robot children. Yeah, try not to make eye contact. Make your motions slow. And see, you say that as a joke, but it's honestly like you have to be so, so nice to the printer. I have this thing with the printer where there's a rule, and the rule is you don't talk about how much you need the thing you're printing. You don't, you like, if you need it right away, you don't say that. You can't let the printer know because if the printer knows that you need it within the next couple hours, it'll break down. It'll do something that's not right. So you can't tell the printer, like you can't show it weakness. You have to like it's just yeah, I don't even care if I don't get this today. And then it's like, here you go. You got to have that attitude at all times. I really have my little robot children. We're talking about how good my printer and cutting machine did for my wedding invites, and how I'm proud of them. D-Tech, yeah, it totally does. It demands sacrifices, sometimes in blood, sometimes in mental health because it's torturing me. But they're my little robot children. They did so good. Margot Simone bot. All right, we are gonna mix the new color. My paycheck for new ink. Oh my gosh, the amount of ink I had to use. I have a pile. Also, I know you're not supposed to dispose of ink just like in the garbage. So I've had the whole time I've had this printer, which is like 3, 4 years now, I have like a Ziploc bag full of just empty ink cartridges. And I'm like, what do I do with this? How do I properly dispose of this? I don't really know, but I know you're not supposed to throw them in the garbage. So I haven't, but I have a lot of ink cartridges. You're looking at printers right now? Oh, is it for art print stuff? Contact your local landfill? Yeah. I also have some oil paint solvents to dispose of as well because I have these little containers and you it's pretty cool because they have the it's the Winsor Newton ones, I think, and it's a little glass container with a really nice top that screws on really nicely, and it has a little metal spiral inside for when you're oil painting. And then you have your solvent in there, and you clean the brushes on the metal spiral. And after you let it settle, the paint that came off like settles into the bottom and solidifies. And so as you fill up the whole entire container with solidified paint, you then bring that to your landfill and they dispose of it properly because it's a chemical thing. Um, so I have one of those that I need to get rid of too because I actually switched solvents. I didn't fill the whole jar, but I switched solvents and I didn't want to mix them together because that sounded like a bad idea with like a science experiment gone wrong, mixing two solvents together. So I have one with a solvent that I don't even buy anymore. So I don't know what to do with it because it doesn't have solvent left. It's just solid paint. So I'm gonna have to get rid of that one. Who sell ink carts should have a disposable bin somewhere in the back. Oh, yeah, maybe like Staples has one? Maybe? Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, it's okay. I'll just like store them in the back. Oh, wait, do you mean printing your own stuff? Honestly, it's a lot of work and ink can be expensive, and outsourcing is a little bit more convenient. However, you don't get as much control over color checking and like redoing something. Oh yeah, the solvent I use is just the where is it? Honestly, the reason I switched is because I couldn't find the solvent anywhere in stores. So I have a new solvent that I use now. I have one that's just like a no-name craft store brand. But the one I use now is like the Zest It stuff, which I really like, and it's not chemically, and it's like just orange. It's like citrus oils. So it's nothing that you need to fully aerate your room for, which is really handy. Um, but yeah, I recommend Zest It, and a lot of people who are allergic to solvents can use Zest It. So if you find yourself like reacting to the smell um, of normal ones, definitely get that. I just got Zest It off of Amazon. Okay, let's make this color our first color. So this is the True Frog, also known as the European Common Frog. Can be helpful with the color checking. Don't have to get inkjet. Don't get a laser printer for normal printing. Yeah. The thing is for art printing though and for photo printing, definitely an inkjet is preferable. Although a laser printer for normal printing, highly recommend. We've had the same I think we've switched the toner like 2 or 3 times in the almost how long have we had this one? Like 8 years? Maybe more? But we've had this printer, and I went through college and fiance went through college with this printer just printing all our assignments. Well, we've only replaced the toner like 2 or 3 times. It's great. Just been using Gamsol. Gamsol is great, yeah. Having a random jar of it and the fumes, yeah. Solvent for ransom. Yeah, lasers are great for that. Oh, also, I don't know how much these are or whether they're worth looking into for like archival art stuff, but what about those the EcoJet ones? That's really interesting to me. The ones that you refill the ink with like the little squeezy bottle and it's supposedly comes with enough ink to equal to 100 cartridges or something. That one seems interesting to me, but I think it's a really expensive printer. And I don't know how well it does for art prints because that's usually more fine-tuned. And I don't know whether it's meant to be for that. Yeah, EcoTank. Has anyone heard any reviews about that for art prints?
Did you send that or see that link that I sent you not too long ago? Thanks.
Oh yeah, you just need one for black and white. Megan, I think you would be good with going with like with any most printers would do that pretty well. That's good because then you don't have to replace the color too often. Unless you have like subtle like browns in there too or something. EcoTank's just a subscription service. Oh. We literally just got one. It's unopened, but I can tell you more once we set it up. Oh, that's exciting. Sam, welcome in. Till I see a friend who actually has the item. I can't trust manufacturers' claims or review sites at all. Been burnt so many times. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're making prints? Trying to do everything, want to be my own boss. Mail you a syringe of ink to inject into the inkwell. Still is the same amount of garbage. Oh, no. I just thought it was like, it would have, you would have to load the ink less than you would with a normal cartridge. I will say, um, if your printer allows you to make like there's an ink option for XL or like a large ink purchase, I always recommend going with that because typically they last like a million times longer. Like the normal. So I had to replace my ink a lot recently because I was printing a bunch of stuff and I ran out of the yellow ink and so we had to buy more. But the shop, so the problem with my printer is the ink, nobody sells it except for the Epson website itself. When I bought the printer, people still sold it. But then right after I bought the printer, they're like, never mind. So the only place that does sell it only has a couple things from it. And it's like a specialty, like photography shop, and it's expensive. And they didn't have the XL size, like the large size of the ink. They only had like the small, normal one, which was not ideal. And we replaced I replaced the yellow with that one. And at the same time, I replaced a different color that had the XL size. And then the whole time I was printing, it took a few prints and then the yellow was low again. I had to replace it again. And I had to replace like the yellow and a couple other things that had the single use ones that we had to buy because like we needed something quick. So we couldn't wait for them to deliver it. And it went through like 3 normal size cartridges before the XL size one was able to run out. So, and it's only a little bit more in money and it lasts like 3 times as long. It's really good. 10 of 1 and 5 stars. It's probably inflated. Yeah. Bye, Tantillion. Have a great day. $5 more and worth it. 100%. Yeah. Have to have yellow ink due to watermarking from manufacturers. What? Yeah, how do you know all this printer info? My goodness. I definitely didn't know that. Okay, wait. This seems like okay, I think I have the wrong frog there. Hmm. Now I'm confused a little bit. Yeah, this seems more like the right frog. I don't know what happened with that one, but in the tech field, oh, police can trace back to who purchased the printer in cases of fraud or ransom. What? The massive industrial printers for show banners. Oh, wow. That sounds pretty cool. I'm struggling to find the reference for this guy. See the watermarks with the black light. Huh. That's interesting. So I guess yellow is one of the ones that it refuses to print without. Because I know there's a few colors, like if the black runs out, it'll be like, do you want us to use gray instead? Then you can choose yes, if you really need it kind of thing. But yeah, I think yellow is one of those ones that you can't print without. Huh. I promise I'm not trying to print money. I'm just I'm just trying to print little prints. Print without yellow, please. Guess which color I'm out of? It's always yellow. It's always yellow. I feel like it runs out so fast. It's Friday, I'm just struggling. Oh no. Either refuse to scan print money or we'll have fake displaying across it. Gotta lurk for a meeting. I'll be in Chickensville this evening. Well, thank you so much for hanging out, Rich. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. I hope the chickens are adorable. You should definitely send pictures. Okay, so the eye itself, I'm gonna begin with basically a similar color, but it's more yellow. So let me do that. I do. My friend is coming over from out of town and she's gonna stay for the weekend. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah. What about you? Do you have any fun plans? Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We've been trying to do it for a while and then stuff kept coming up like she was exposed to COVID the first time we tried to do it and then the second time